So one of my favorite things to do in Baltimore is walk around and stop and observe the street art. It's constantly changing, and I've been very fortunate to meet some incredible street artists that are from Baltimore or reside in Baltimore or whose work is in Baltimore. Learn a little bit about the community and the culture, and I have gotten a lot of inspiration for what I do musically from those walks. One of the things I really appreciate as well is the transient nature of the artwork. So you could pass by somewhere and there's a wall that's empty, and 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, there's some beautiful imagery there. Graffiti Alley in Baltimore is a place that I walk by frequently. As somebody who is appreciative, I guess, that artwork as a medium, it's great to see the way that it's represented in Baltimore. And I think people like Nether and OGs like Stabb, who I had, Adam Stabb, who I'd heard about for years. With folks like that, artists like that around, I think the murals in Baltimore will be plentiful for a long time. So Pablo and I met about 10 years ago. There was this man painting a mural, and it was really stunning. And from what I remember, it was giving an opportunity for other people to be able to paint. And the person painting was Pablo. And so I went up and asked him his name, introduced myself, and I think I asked if he had painted all of that day, because it was really detailed, and it was really amazing. And he said, yeah, he painted it that day. And so we got to talking. I told him I was a musician, and I said, yeah, I live right over there. Those are my windows. We've been in touch. I've been following Pablo's artistic journey ever since, and it's always a pleasure to be able to link up with him. It's so detailed. I mean, so when you work on these, do you work on them from one end of the scroll to the next, or do you fill in different sections? What's your process for this?
Well, it's interesting. This is digital work.
Okay.
The process is changing, because from this, I come up with this one, which was inside on this cylinder,
Okay.
and this was another story, but the same idea of rolling inside. And then from this one, I jump to this one, and this is long. You want to hold it from there and watch. This is like long. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you can take a part of this and digitally you can move it, like you can move things around as you want the story to be told.
Yes, I can change this all the time. Yeah. And the idea, like I told you before, is to be able to put it on a table and everybody paint, at the same time, or by yourself if you want it, and then have a lot of different functions, because you can, when you finish, cut it and give some pieces away like a gift, or you can just frame it and put it like an artwork. And if you do it with family or with friends, you can have this memory. I think for me, this is like a tool, like I told you, to connect and unite, people in one piece of art.
Well, I feel like ever since I've known you, that has been a big part of your art. I mean, the day that I met you, you were doing something for the community that involved the community artistically. And has that always been?
Yes, because as an immigrant, you are by yourself. I think coming here, I've been, you want people, even I like to be by myself. I need my solitude, but at the same time, I need everybody. And now more than ever, I have a child, Matilda, 4.5. my mind also is like more aware of the surrounding. They are important, and we have this responsibility for the new generation of become better. It's the approach of painting outside is for myself and for others, with this quote where say like, I am because you are. When I do something thinking it's for myself, it's for others, because if it's nobody there, I will not probably do it. It's very necessary to have colors outside. I think colors and images are like some type of, they are a vibration. Being an artist, I start learning, and I still learning. It's a role, where you are kind of a tool sometimes to change the landscape, with different intentions, to the people then recognize you and start different conversation like this one right now you are asking me.
My name is Adam Stabb, and the art I focus on, with regard to at least where we're gonna put our focus today, is and has been for a long time style writing or graffiti art. Depending on who you're addressing about that is certain. You say, "Oh, I'm a style writer," to a lot of people who think they know, and they do know what graffiti is, and that they'll lose you right there. And you're like, "What do you mean by that?" But that's today it's an important difference between, even inside of my own culture, how we define ourselves, or make sure that people understand the intention behind what it is we're doing, some of us, because the culture has been around long enough, literally now as a culture, that within itself there is upheaval and rebellion in how things are applied to, and there's literally a school of what people call now anti-style. And these are artists, these are creative people who are following in certain footsteps of what style writers have done for a long time, but they've gone about it without even that first call word that we use of style, So, but that's growth, that's development, that's change in like any field of practitioner. So, it's accept it or not, like it or not, it's a part of the growth of the community. And then everything else is all found paper too. I have a strict regimen of nothing going in my collages, even once I went beyond the use of the black fill paper, because I kind of started getting obsessive with its presence in my life in that way. Like I bring home a lot of from the street, fire hydrants, like all kind of street experience. And so I was picking up, like everything within this certain color palette. McDonald's wrappers and Burger King stuff and things that like, Trident things, and everything that kind of fit in the human experience of people using it's serving its purpose and kind of being thrown over the shoulder. That's your way into my work. I don't buy anything to make this, really. It's strictly got to be found, and I got to take the time to see it, pick it up, bend it, and somebody else has had to dispose of it. This is us. It's the story of us. The work I make is street art on every level of like not just where I get it, but who it's from. Is if you in the street, I'm right behind you, getting you and putting you in my work. The blues was an outsider art form, but it was not already institutionalized. It was of the institution. It was because of the institution. And that's the same with every last run. So you don't exist outside in the sense that even in the process of being an outsider that you think you do, because you're in constant resistance to the fact that the institution itself in all ways has been threaded into you and your very existence. Muralists and technological change and things like that, like even in the illegal world, you know, I dare say, not as often, but the tricks to the trade are changing. But from where we come from where most graffiti writers and style writers come from, it's just the experience of like, you know, getting used to like, yo, tonight we're going this big, we're painting this thing. One of the things I pride myself on the most is, you know, if I've decided to paint something, even if I've decided to paint something really big, like without needing much more than like the width of this hallway, if that, I will get it on there, landed on a dime, and not, you know, need to, that's experience. That's again, like we judge and critique each other in very unique ways of what it takes to excel at what we do. And that's why a person, again, even a creative, is like, yo, how is that actually done? Because it's very proportioned. I'm getting the whole message. It's sitting right where I want it to. It's gleaming. It's three-dimensional. Like, that's not easy. Nah, it ain't. That's all I can say about that. It's not. Like, years and years of like doing it to like be able to get to like knowing like, oh yeah, he wants somebody went up there and that's really wonky. You know, there's a big difference between going up, especially someplace you should not be, and standing on 2 inches of steel and like making it tight. Yeah, there's a big difference. Experience alone will give you that. What's great about the willingness, especially to do the things that are death-defying with your art, is that there's not nothing left like that in the world. Rock climbers, all right, so it's us, rock climbers and surfers. That's it, that's all you just really got. Because we're taking it to that level now. Like most of the high watermark in graffiti is being done by rappelling now. You guys have probably seen a little bit here in town, but yeah, like most people now, if you like really doing it, you're traveling around the world rappelling off. What's great about what it is to just, you know, hey, I make my art with this spray paint can, and so do you, is that's kind of literally the way that if you had that experience, we were free to behave in the sandbox as kids. You know, really just embrace each other at that level. I got the same shaker in hand as you. And so wherever you're coming from, we're here now at this wall. And telling you, the feeling that I have gotten now, for years I wouldn't still be doing it, of that sense of when we're here together, whoever you are, that's like a huge payoff in your community sense. And then taking that home with you as an individual that participates individually in your own way all the time, you know, then you don't even need the group all around to like super feel connected.